Hello and welcome to the Math Video Tutor. This chapter we're going to talk about systems of linear equations. And what do I mean by that? I mean, we've talked about, equations of a line, we've drawn the lines on the board and we've plotted them and we've done all these things and we've determined how to write the equation of a line down when we have certain pieces of information like the slope and the y-intercept and all that stuff. That's really fine and dandy, but in this chapter what we're going to learn how to do is solve systems of equations. And what I mean by a system is two or more lines. And we want to find out the solution to that system. And just kind of a little bit of background, if you think about it, in the big picture here, just to give you a preview of what we're going to be doing here, if you have a coordinate axis, okay, and on that axis I go ahead and draw a line, okay, I may have the equation for this line written down somewhere like this, okay. And this line could represent a lot of things. It could represent the profit, or the cost of some goods that you purchase for your company to sell or something like that, as a function of time or whatever. And then you have some other line that might go up like this, okay? And this other line might represent, the cost it takes to pay employees or something like that. In any case, you may have two lines that represent something, some physical quantity that you're interested in, okay? And you plot them. And if you notice that there is a point when these two lines, whatever they represent, where they intersect. And that's a very special point. This point is called the solution of the system of equations governed by these two lines. So I can write an equation of a line down for this line, because we've been doing that for the last several lessons, and I can also write another equation that governs this line, and where the two of them are both true at the same time, that's called the solution. So what you're really doing here, we're going to learn a lot of different techniques to find this special solution, okay? What it means is it's the point at which both of those lines coincide. So it's the point at which both of those lines are true. What I mean by true is it's the point where that point satisfies both lines at the same time. And that will become very important later on. There's several techniques that we can use to find this solution, okay? And we're going to go over the first one now. The first technique is kind of the most intuitive, the most obvious, and it's graphing. Okay, so solving systems of linear equations by graphing. And the big picture is what we're going to do is we're going to plot these lines. We're going to find out where they intersect, and that's going to be our solution. But before we go there, let's just do a couple of kind of warm-up exercises. Let's say I have two lines, x plus y equals 2 and 2x minus y equals 1. Okay, this is what I call a system of equations. This is what you will refer to as a system. This is an equation and this is an equation. And together they're called a system of equations. I could use our different techniques to plot this line, and I can use different techniques to plot this line. The point where they intersect, where they're both true at the same time, that is called the solution. Before we actually get to doing that though, let's do a warm-up exercise. Let's just check. I'm going to give you the point 1, 1. And I want to see, is this point a solution or the solution to this set of equations here, the system?